Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
All right. Welcome back. Fit Nation. My, oh my. 1 year into this, and we are at a huge milestone. We started our second season the first week of January, and this episode puts the Misfit Nation at the century mark. Man, we made it to 100. This is in no small part to you, our listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you. In an industry that's so flooded where there's millions of choices, we have the best listeners in the world. In year 1, we earned the Veteran Podcast Award for Best Social and Cultural Show. Thanks again goes to our listeners. Do not fear. We have a ton of great guests lined up for the show, and some already interviewed and in the key. We will continue to be humble. We'll stay hungry, and we'll keep hustling, because we are Fit Nation. All right, let's welcome to the Misfit Nation, a man who's on a mission to enrich lives with mentally liberating education. Since the age of 7, he has been fascinated with investing and growth. Age of 7, and even convinced his father to match his investment deposit for some Apple stock back in 1995, which would be worth $14 million. His passion for helping others enrich their lives through investing led him to found Real Life Trading in 2014. The starting point has allowed him to assist and enrich tens of thousands of lives while also growing the company organically to a 7-figure business. So ladies and gentlemen, Misfit Nation, let's welcome in Jerremy Newsome.
Dude, amped to be here, my man. Thank you.
Awesome. It's always good to have a neighbor on the show, and knowing that we live not far from each other, this is outstanding. This is my 3rd one now that I've had someone come on. We didn't realize we were right near each other.
Yeah, man. No, I'm excited about it. We're definitely going to 100% connect after this at some point and just break some bread.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
I want you to tell the Misfit Nation a little bit about yourself other than what I just did, as much as you want, as far back as you want to go to where we are now.
Yeah, man. I mean, my elevator pitch, I guess, essentially, I grew up in a single wide trailer treehouse in South Georgia. I grew up in a cult until I was 24. I escaped the cult when I was 24. I became a liquid millionaire in my late 20s. I lost all of it 3 separate times from 3 separate tragic accidents and incidents. And now I educate current and future world leaders on how the stock and crypto market works.
Outstanding. And I see in your bio, you try to incorporate Lieutenant Dan's principles of investing in there. And how did that come about?
Yeah, man. Well, I was 6, and we watched the movie Forrest Gump for the first time when it came out, like in 1994.
Yeah.
And about 80% of the way through the movie, Rich, Forrest Gump says something very interesting. He says that he takes his Bubba Gump shrimp money and they invest in a fruit company.
Right.
They no longer had to worry about money anymore. Well, dude, I was like, I'd never heard that like sentence. You don't have to worry about money anymore, because I was poor as heck, dude. I was happy, but we were poor. And I asked my dad, what's investing? What's the fruit company? So he told me about the stock market and told me about Apple computers. And that was the fruit company. So I begged him. I was like, he painted such a beautiful picture, my dad did. He's like, man, people are going to be buying these computers. They're going to help individuals, right? They're going to allow for growth and business, e-commerce, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, we have to do it. So, he gave the answer that most people probably give their kids when they're asking for money. It's like, hey man, money doesn't grow on trees, right? You can't just go out. You have to go out and get money, dude. And I begged him, man. So eventually he said, listen, bring me some money. I'll match it dollar for dollar. So I went out and picked blackberries, which was my only resource really at the time. And I sold them door to door in the summer of 1994. I made $1,500.
Nice.
On blackberries, yeah. So we bought $3,000 worth of apple in 1994.
That's outstanding.
Thanks, man.
I wish I jumped on it back then. That was actually my first date with my wife and I was to go see Forrest Gump in 1994.
No way, dude.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And it was in Savannah, Georgia, right where they filmed a lot of the movie.
Bro, wow. Okay, that's wild. Yeah. So we were 45 miles from each other when we watched that. Then.
Oh wow. Outstanding. See, the correlations keeps getting us back together with each other.
I love it.
So you learned your investment techniques there. I'm sure you enhanced it throughout the years. Did you go to school for business, or did you just use what you learned in the market?
Yep, I did. I went to the University of Florida for business management, but that was after I went to school for finance. So I thought getting a degree in finance would teach you about stocks, day trading, investing, debt, right? How to use debt, how to leverage, all the good things that we all want, cash flow, financial freedom. It was a lot of accounting. I don't love accounting, man. So yeah, I switched degrees, and I just literally at that point started asking people, because from the Apple shares, we sold them in 2000 when we were moving from Georgia to Florida, and yeah, they would be worth 14 million, 16 million, something like that. But I sold them $13.99 million ago, and yeah, my dad gave me $12,000 as a 12-year-old when we did sell those shares. I was like, this is all I want to do. This is it. And it's hard. It's really hard. It still kind of is difficult to get really quality education on the stock market right now, especially without getting crazy slimy sales pitch or getting into some weird multi-level marketing scheme. Just connecting with a great-hearted, high-integrity person is a rare thing. And it was even rarer 12, 13 years ago. So yeah, bro, I just did the entire self-study. I got books. I went to every seminar I could. I went to a webinar or two and just poured as much time as I could into learning this material.
It took me till I was in my 40s in a remote village in Afghanistan. I read the book Rule 1 Investing, and that helped me to broaden my horizons in investing. That was until 2012-13 when I finally read that book in the mountains of Afghanistan. So there was no real education for me until that point, other than just watching what the stock said in the newspaper.
Yeah. I love that. Were you in the military?
Yes, I was in the Army.
Thank you for your service, my man.
No problem.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I work with a lot of I actually work with a lot of current and former military, because all the men in my family did military service, except for me. I asked my dad when I was like 12 or 13. I was like, hey, Pop, should I join the military? And he was like, oh, no. And I was like, why not? Everyone else did it. And he didn't tell me because I was a pansy. I now know. You're too weak and fragile to do anything, man. That's what he should have said. But I asked him, I was like, what should I do with my life? And around 12 or 13, he told me, go study money. He said, I'm too old and too dumb, is what he said. And he's like, go, you got to go do it. I'm not smart enough. And I didn't really know what that meant, but I just started reading every book with the word money in the title, and asking people about it, and just openly asking people about money, man. Like going up to my bosses when I started working at 18, I got a job at Nationwide Insurance, and just started asking my bosses, hey, how much do you make a year? What's a 401k? Should I do that? Should I invest in it? Just asking people about money. As crazy as it sounds, that was like a huge foray for me into the whole investing world.
But definitely, when I retired from the military, I had no idea what a 401k was, and I went to my first job, and the finance guy at the job's like, how much do you want to put into your 401k? And I thought that you only allowed to put X amount, and I said, just put 100%. And he said, you want to put your whole salary in there? Whoa, hey, he's back there, buddy.
Yeah, oh man.
So let's go back to the percentage that you match. Let's do that. And that's where I stayed with. That's where I learned that valuable lesson at that point.
Yeah.
And that's a hard one to learn if like you learned it by just asking questions in the business, in the field, in the profession. And a lot of people don't get that chance, which I believe is why you went on to found real life trading, in order to bring people in the business and teach them as they go.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing that? I mean, is that based here in Tennessee as well?
It is, man. Yep. I mean, as you know, there's a lot of that can be done online.
Right.
But it doesn't have to specifically be based anywhere directly, but it is out of Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm here at my home office, and I've been in Nashville for about 9 years, and I've been involved in the markets, learning probably about 12 years, been doing this full-time professionally for 7.
It's not a bad gig, then. That's good.
Yeah.
You're down there where there's a lot of money right now, a lot of growth in especially the real estate realm right now. As everything is building straight up down there, you can't go a block without seeing a crane.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, it is absolutely blowing up. You're totally right. And for me, I'm really just excited to meet individuals like yourself and other people who have this, I see the logo behind you, right? Mindset, legacy, family, loyalty, motivation is like having those tenets, having those core values to uplift and show anyone that you can do this, right? You don't have to be crazy rich or independent. You don't have to be insanely smart, good at second grade math, right? That's it. If you're good at second grade math, I mean, if you buy 1,000 shares of something and it goes up $1, you make $1,000.
Yep.
Done. That's it. Now, if you get out, if it's going against you and you risk 50 cents on 1,000 shares, that's $500. So risk $500 to make 1,000. That's why it's not gambling. I love to gamble, full disclosure. However, when you go to a casino or whatever and you put a lot of money on red, and you're playing roulette and it hits black, you're done.
Right.
You can't ask the roulette person, hey man, can I get my money back? It doesn't quite work that way. But in the markets, in the markets, Rich, you could put in $1 million in, I don't know, Apple, and you could find out a week later if it went up or went down, but you can then pull all of your money back out if you wanted to for either a profit or a loss, but you can get your money back, and it's not a binary 0 to 1 outcome.
And that's a lesson a lot of people fail to learn, is that you could, some people call it day trading or whatever. You can invest X amount, it goes up, makes, say, like you said, $1 per share, gain $1,000. You take out your initial investment, just let it ride, and you're just making pure profit at that point.
100%. And that's a really good takeaway. A lot of people might not think that you can do that, but you absolutely can, for sure. And it's, especially for long-term investing, man. I mean, I just think a lot of people are afraid of liquid markets because they don't know enough and they don't have enough time. But I laugh at that because I'm like, anyone smart, like, dude, I bought Apple at 6, bro. I was an idiot. I had no money. Like, I'm not smart. Just ask yourself, will this company be around in 10 years? Will you or people that you understand and like use the product? And if the answer is yes, buy some over time, $3,000 every 3 years, maybe. And that could turn out into a substantial profit.
And you'll be able to sit pretty once you finally do hang up your hat from your job and have a comfortable retirement, not rely on all other things to come in at one time, all the stars to align in order for you to have a good retirement.
Bingo, man. Absolutely. I worked with a Green Beret Special Forces. His name was Jerremy Locke. And Jerremy was serving in, I think it was Syria at the time, that him and I were working together, and he got his, what's the money called when you go on like a special thing and you get like a certain bonus or something?
Hostile hazardous duty pay and stuff like that.
Yeah. So he would take some of that while he was, doing his thing and just put it into a stock account, but he would start to learn how to do relatively basic strategies, like something called a covered call. So a covered call is one of my favorite strategies. It's pretty boring, but it allows you to rent out a stock just like you rent out a house. And a lot of people don't know that you can do that, but you can. And it's really easy. It's very legal. It's very fast, and it can create monthly cash flow. And you don't have to have that much money to do it. So he started with like $16,000, and over the course of a year or so, turned that into $100,000.
Wow.
Just from semi-actively trading it, but nothing crazy. He was trading Apple and Tesla and Neo and a few EV companies, and yeah, they worked out well. But he also understood the companies he was investing in, right? That was the key, like Apple. Hello, everyone knows that one. Tesla, right? Everyone knows Tesla. So taking those companies and just investing in those can be easy.
As long as, like you're saying, if you research the company, understand they have a good foundation, it'll have ebbs and flows based on the market and based on what product they have put out. But they're always going to be strong enough to sustain and make you some money in the end. Precisely.
Especially if they pay a dividend like Apple. I mean, you get like essentially a free 1% a year just to be a shareholder, which is not nothing, as my dad used to say. I mean, it's kind of cool.
It's better than zero.
It's better than zero. Yeah.
So do you also work with Bitcoin and stuff like that?
I do work with cryptocurrencies. Yep. And I educate individuals on crypto assets just so they can understand visually how to identify certain patterns and trends. Because that's really all trading is. Trading and investing is trends. It's cyclical. It happens over large periods of time, small periods of time. Everything is fractal. So once you can really master these trends and this movement, you could do quite well. And I think it's extremely intriguing. And I think cryptos are very, very fun. It's an asset class that a lot of people don't know very much about, but there's a lot of growth potential there.
And I see a lot of people, especially within the last 12 months, first you had the Doge run and then the Shiba Inu run. So people just watch Facebook or watch Twitter, whatever Elon Musk is saying, and they jump on one of his things and then they hit it for a couple of days and they're out of it within a week. And either they make a lot or they just come out dead even or broke out of it. So it's a learning curve that you have to really get used to.
Yeah, it really is. And there's speed there, but like you mentioned, man, a few times, you said it perfectly. It's just an educational piece, right? Sit down with someone, and that someone can be me or it can be anyone else. It doesn't have to be me, but I teach it for free, right? I teach people how to do this with zero cost financially, and there's no other company that can really say that. So in regards to like who you learn from, take a bunch of education, learn this, because then you can see what opportunities exist and see how to take advantage of it and just open your eyes a little bit. Because once you peel back the curtain, even if you don't make tons of money, it gives you confidence and knowledge. And as men, like, we really need confidence and we really need knowledge to be the best fathers and best leaders of our household.
Definitely. And that's a great point. And if you show that you're willing to take the risk to go in on an investment and show your child that, hey, if I put this $1,000 in today, it may be worth, like in your case, would have been worth 14 million when you took it out, or today. But you had to take it out because of moving and such. But if you show that you're willing to do that, it led your brain to say, hey, we can do this for a living and move forward. And that's the same thing that could happen to the next generation. Hey, if we keep doing this and staying educated on this, we also can make a living this way.
My man. Because what eventually happens is you get enough people that know how to do this. It doesn't make the market, it makes the market even more liquid and more approachable and more accessible. And now you have people who they don't have to choose where they work, or they don't have to not pursue a special interest, maybe art or music, because they're not going to make tons of money of it at the upfront. They don't have to go into like a sales job they don't really like, because they might know how to trade, or they might know how to invest. They might have investments working for them. And now they get to choose. Now you have a culture and a legacy and future generations of our children and our children's children who have a choice rather than something they might be forced to do because they think they have to make money.
Right. They can go and do something that they're passionate about instead of doing something that hurts them in the long run, like a manual labor job that they really don't need to be doing if they would have just got educated on something else.
Yep. You're right, man.
So you mentioned the liquid market. Would you want to identify what a liquid market is?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So liquid market is going to be anything that you can buy and sell or trade in and out of within seconds. So real estate, I love real estate, but it's definitely not a liquid market, right? It's a very, very rocky, earthy market, non-liquid. So if you want to sell a house, I mean, good luck. Like, it's going to take 2 months, 3 months at the fastest. That's okay. Right? Not a bad thing, but it's just going to take longer. But a liquid market is something like the stock market or the crypto market. So if you took, again, to use big numbers, like if you took $1 million, bought something and sold something the same day, the same hour, the same minute, 2-3 days later, you wouldn't even show up on the radar. Like, you're not even a bug on the windshield, dude. Like, you're not even a bug. Like you are so microscopically tiny with $1 million in these markets. So yeah, being able to buy and sell very quickly would be a liquid market.
I like to say that's what I do on my stash app on my lunch breaks. Let's go in there and see what's trending up or down, and I move money in my stash app at lunch. That's my little hobby sometimes.
I love that, dude. No, I mean, for the listeners, that's a big one. Like Acorns and Stash. It's a very, very useful way to, again, get into the game, to just take a little bit of that side change that we get from whatever, throw it into something, because every penny counts. It's also a habit. It's a consistency approach. But like you said, it starts to open up your eyes of what's possible. And if you can do it with a small number, same type of investing approach, you can do it with large numbers for sure.
Exactly. Once you build that little nest egg, you then move it into the larger bucket, and that larger bucket becomes larger. And then you can take that trip around the world in a boat if you want to.
Yep. Absolutely, man.
So did you ever just do day trading, or did you go right into, I'm going to study and invest this way?
Oh yeah, definitely did day trading. Absolutely. It didn't work out great at first. I mean, most people don't, right? The trading I did okay with, and I still do quite well with, is just like semi longer term. So let's say 3 to 7 months where I'm getting in. I think a trend's going to happen. Tesla down 30%. Okay, let me buy $20,000 worth, and then every 3 weeks I'll buy another $5,000 worth and let it accumulate, and then in 7 months I'll sell it, make 35% return on 70 grand, right? Which is a substantial amount of money. And then you can take that money and then buy a real estate, buy a rental property, slowly start cash flowing your life. But essentially
somewhere else,
yeah, precisely. But essentially, man, for me, the day trading thing, I was terrible at it at first, but now I'm really good at it. I mean, day trading for me is just pattern recognition. That's it. Mastering your emotions, because you're playing a video game and the video game has money at the end of it, but you're either right or wrong often. So I tell people I'm an amazing, amazing loser. I'm the best loser you'll meet. I have a competitive drive, but I lose every day, but I win every day. So my goal is to max lose 1% or make 1% a day and make more than 1%. So on average, I lose 0.7% of whatever trade I take. And when I win on average about 1.3%. And so that spread is how I make my money.
It almost makes it perfect right there. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, man.
That's a beautiful way to do it right there. When your wins outweigh your losses, it's always a good day.
That's the key. And it doesn't always happen, but over the course of a month, if you play it right, and you just really, really focus and drill down, I think that's the way to do it. That's really the way to get after it, is just know your plan, know a system, stick to it, get really disciplined, really consistent. It's not a get rich slowly, but it's definitely a get rich. Like, you can get rich trading. You just have to know what you're doing. And the reason I love it, Rich, is because there is no ceiling to this, man. Right. None. If someone wants to make $40,000 in a day, they can. Right? This is it. And there's no phone calls, no sales meetings, no Zoom webinars, no clients, no refunds, no coupons, no checkouts. It's just you versus you, generally.
And just having the patience to stay with it and learn your lessons and drive forward.
Yeah, 100%.
What would you identify as a stock option?
So stock options are insurance contracts for stocks. And most people don't know that those exist. But let's say you have house insurance, right? Everyone has house insurance. Everyone has health insurance. Everyone has car insurance. Everyone should have life insurance. You can insure everything. Well, you can insure your stocks. And that's what a stock option is. So if you buy Apple, let's say at 100 and it goes up to 140, and you're like, yeah, baby, you got $40 a share profit, which is awesome. You can buy an insurance policy at 120 and spend, I don't know, $1 for that policy. So the math is you are profitable, right? Because you bought it at 100 and you're insuring it at 120. Spend $1, so really 121 is your cost. 119. So you can make guaranteed on that $19 a share. And if it continues to go higher, fantastic, right? Just like your house. No one runs out of their house every year that their house didn't burn down.
Right.
So if it goes up in value, fantastic. If it goes down in value, you can, like I said, sell those shares for 120. If it went from 140 back down to, I don't know, 90, you could sell it at 120. Or if it keeps going higher, you don't have to. And so that's what a stock option is. They are literally insurance contracts.
Yes, that's more good advice there for the young investors coming into the market. We're just getting into the game. It becomes, like you said earlier, it's like playing a video game, just watching the numbers go up and down and watching the blips on the screen. If you have the right app, they'll show you the trends of the day or trends of the week, month, etc. How long 100%. Did it take you to get used to that, I guess, analytics down?
I'm a slow learner and I'm pretty dumb. It took me 4 years, man, to really like concrete get everything. Most people right now, because I shorten their learning curve, it takes about 2. And there'll be months in there where you want to quit and you want to give up, and that's natural. I tell people that's everything. Everything. It can be real estate, it can be business, you can be a chef, you can be a doctor, you can be a soccer player, everything. You're gonna feel like giving up at some point. So either you do or you don't. So secondly, I can shorten that learning curve exponentially, but it's going to be about 2 years for it to just really like, okay, I understand 99.9% of everything I need to know. And you'll get 80% of everything you need to know in 3 months. So those, 18 months or whatever, 19 months, it's that window. That's all the additional 20% that you're building up to that spot.
Just building up your expertise at that point. And
yep.
I like that you said it. You run into walls and everything, and you like to look at things like a marathon. Most people run into walls at either mile 18 or mile 22, and they either quit or they take a deep breath, drink some pickle juice, and drive forward at that point. And it's the same thing with everything we do in life. If you make it a pattern, make it a habit, after 21 days, it's usually a pretty good habit. And if you just solidify that habit, like you said, the first 3 months, you have most of the knowledge, and then you just got to solidify that knowledge over the next 19, 21 more months to get that 2 years in there and learn the trends, learn how to look at those numbers, look at the pretty colors on the screen, and know when to do the right things.
100%. You nailed it, man.
I know we've already talked about tips and stuff. So if you were to give someone tips today in investing, what would be a way to go about getting into investing right now safely for someone that doesn't have a lot but wants to get into it?
Totally. I think Robinhood is a very, very useful, extremely safe, totally easy form of investing introduction. So let's say you have $100. You can get started on Robinhood right now. Robinhood's a free app, and you can download on your phone, put $100 in there, and once a week buy something, and then the other week sell it. And if you buy that just do that once a week with $100, make $3 or $4 extra a week. Yeah, it's not life-changing money, but the knowledge, the application, the information, it'll grow, it'll build. There'll be some really, really, really huge opportunities that'll come along with that. And then the second piece is you just add to it. So take your earned income from your job, from your work, from whatever, put it into Robinhood. Keep adding that $100 at a time, that $1,000 at a time. Keep building it. Because as you're doing that, you're going to add to those assets, and those assets will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And a lot of people miscalculate how large something can grow with a 3% compounding interest rate, monthly, with a doubling effect of putting your money into it, right? Every single week, every single paycheck. Man, that's what I did with my 401k. Like when I worked at Nationwide when I was 18, I said yes to the 401k. And by the time I was 20, I had $10,000 in there. And that was nothing special, just, worked overtime every now and then, every time I had a chance to, and contributed 6%. They matched it. So 12% of my paycheck, every paycheck for 2 years, that's $10,000. And I took that $10,000, learned how to invest, learned how to trade on my own, bought a silver stock with 1,000 shares. It went up $3. I sold it, and I made $3,000 in 3 weeks. And that was more money than I made in a month at work. That was a life-changing moment, man, because I made about $2,400 a month at the time.
and the lights definitely turned on at that point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the Robinhood app is pretty user friendly too. It also has all the charts if you want to read the charts and everything. Where it tells you up and down. It has arrows up, arrows down. It tells you when it's going up and down and trends. So I like the Robinhood app as well. Yeah,
and you mentioned Stash. Stash is a good one. Acorns is a good one. If you have a job that has given you a 401k, 100% take advantage of that. Read books about money. That's the best tip I can give you. Most individuals don't like to read. Do it anyway, right? Every time you see a book, think about it as a $100 bill. And they go, okay, somewhere in these pages, there's a $100 bill. Let me go try to find this $100 bill. So would you spend $10 to make $100? Absolutely. Most books cost $10.
Right.
Read a book. If it has word money on the title, buy it, read it.
Absorb it.
Yep. Absolutely, my man.
Jeremy, how does someone get in contact with you to get you to help them on their journey?
The best way for me is go to my website. It's called Real Life Trading, RealLife Trading, TRADING.com. And then, of course, social media. I'm all over the social media space. So if someone reaches out to me, it's actually me who responds. I have a lot of free time, so I have no issue reaching out to someone who messages me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. So it's just Jerremy Newsome. Track me down. I'm the if you're watching the video recording, my head is this big in real life, and if you're listening to the audio, just Jerremy Newsome with 2 R's, JERREMY. But thrilled to assist, man, any way I can. I love pouring into people and helping them with their aspirations of financial freedom.
Awesome. And I'll put all those links in the show notes, so listeners, you can just click on the show notes and see how to get in contact with Jerremy and start your journey to financial freedom. Jerremy, thanks again for taking some of your time today to join us on the Misfit Nation, and we can't wait to see you in person.
Likewise, man. Appreciate you.
Awesome, brother. You know how we do this. Thanks for taking some of your time to spend with us on Misfit Nation. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and share the link as much as possible. If you want to, please become a supporter to help us carry this thing on. We appreciate you. If you know someone that brings that energy, has a great story, is an up-and-comer in the industry of music, in the arts, have them reach out to us on demystify.com. We will get back to them within 1 day and get them on here so they can share their story with the world. As always, till next time, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are Fit Nation.